What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 13th Man Sports YouTube channel. Appreciate you guys for tuning in to our last episode of the 2025 season here in the CFL. We do have our champion. Congratulations to the Saskatchewan Roughriders and obviously to Coach Phil. I'm sure there will be some celebrating here tonight, but rightfully so, well deserved. Really love to see the parade and kind of the reception that Saskatchewan and that community, obviously, probably to be expected in the days that followed. So excited to break it all down. Of course, looking a little bit weird with only three faces on the screen. Shane, hopefully, will be joining the three of us here shortly. But fellas, how are we feeling? I always kind of describe it as a little bit bittersweet this time of year, especially with our last show. But Blake, how are we feeling, buddy?
Yeah, man, it's the same feeling that I get like every year because bittersweet is the perfect word to describe it. Like we talk for just under half a year. Like there's 52 weeks in a year, 24 weeks if you include playoffs of the CFL season. So it's literally like just under half a year together, and then all of a sudden, like it's not like 6 months is a long time, but it feels like especially after Grey Cup Festival and stuff like that, where those 4 days, like Coach, I know you got to experience it last year. Cole did as well, so all four of us have experienced it at different times. Like those 4 or 5 days just fly by. All of a sudden, the game hits. You all go your separate ways, like on Monday morning or Monday afternoon, and that's just kind of it, like for the next season. So it's bittersweet. Like I know we have some news that we can hopefully talk about when Shane joins us again. That was, as I say that right now, that was very, very
Ayo.
sad that happened on Saturday night. But Shane and I actually did get to briefly see each other in person on Saturday night at the Rec Laws, so that was good. He was one of the first people to see me without any hair. And yeah, no, it was overall it was a good game. Like I enjoyed it. I'm sure we're gonna talk about all of it. The halftime was whatever, but like I said, I'm sure we're gonna talk about it all. And sad that it's the final episode of the season already.
What did I miss? What were we talking
Not much.
about on Saturday night?
How are we feeling?
I'm good. I have my feelings about how Grey Cup was. Um, I think it was kind of. I don't know about Blake. Personally, I felt considering the last 2 years, Winnipeg did a bad job. Based off of the last 2 years, they were disorganized, and there wasn't a lot going on outside of the actual like social party. It wasn't as smooth as or as engaging as the last 2 years. Even like Vancouver did a really good job with everything down, kind of all together in one area for the most part, where you were just bouncing between the conference halls. Hamilton's a little different because of how spread out that city truly is. But I felt like Winnipeg just didn't. It wasn't. If you weren't going to the social party, and like if you weren't going to the social parties, there wasn't a lot to do in terms of activities or out of consistent tourist stuff that like anyone who's in Winnipeg for the first time might do.
There
Shane,
ain't shit to do
Shane,
in Winnipeg.
Shane, you say the word, brother. We start the petition. Just have Grey Cup every other year in Vancouver. I'm down. Don't have to travel that far.
Mm-mm.
I'll sign up for it, buddy. But it's been 4.5 freaking minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to the champ himself, Coach. How in the F are we feeling, buddy?
Boy, to be drunk 2 weekends in a row, I was happy as a motherfucker. I ain't gonna hold you. First, let me just say that was a great game. You can't complain about the game, man. Even though Montreal, I never felt like Montreal was out of it. I always kind of felt like, all right, Davis is going to kind of keep it competitive for them. And he did. Stevie Scott had a great game. They should have fed him a little more. Receivers really weren't playing at their best for Montreal, but it is what it was. But for the Riders, I know, Shane, you talk so much shit about Trevor Harris. That performance was chef's kiss. 80 was it 84, 85% completion percentage, the highest ever in the Grey Cup history. AJ Ouellette was balling the first half. Defense actually looked like they were swarming to the ball as a unit. And that was what I love to see. It was never just one-on-one tackle. It was just 5 against 1, 6 against 1. It was a unit, and I loved it. I cried. I drank. I cried. I puked. It was beautiful. Loved it.
That sounds like a great day, Coach.
Cole,
I'm glad
I
that
guess I guess you're the last one to go. Like, would you? I know, of course, you and Coach weren't at the festivities. You've already committed to next year, and I'm holding you to that in Calgary. Coach, hopefully you'll be able to join us there as well.
I'm going to Calgary.
But like, as far as the game, how'd you think it went?
I enjoyed it. I obviously did pick Montreal. Can't hide that fact for sure. As I did say afterwards, though, it was super easy to watch Saskatchewan win, and some of the people that I'm familiar with on the Riders and whatnot, and the history that comes with the Riders as well. But I was just chilling at home. I got to watch it with actually somebody that's from Saskatchewan, so that was pretty cool. He's I guess, he's kind of I guess, a bandwagon Riders fan. It's no when they're good. He's watching when they're not. He's kind of a fair weather fan, I guess you'd say. But I enjoyed it, man. It's as I said, Blake. It's kind of like a shitty time of year, I guess, when you realize like that was my thought, kind of like on Sunday morning, like man, like next week there's no more. Like I guess there's a Vanier, but after that, like there's no more, Thursday night football, and obviously that's been over for a little bit. But it's a little bittersweet for sure that the end of the season is here. But as Shane's already starting to put out some of the free agent stuff, and I already saw Shane actually so is it June yet? I'll tweet. I believe that might have been the first one I've seen. Although I'm sure maybe someone got a head start on him. But as we know, boys, like it'll fly by, and the season will be here before we know it. So it is a little bit sad to kind of put end to the season, but I'm excited to do it with you boys here tonight. So Shane, where should we head next, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk a little bit about the game, or there not much to talk about outside of the Grey Cup, the season, and obviously a little bit of Vanier Cup. Saskatchewan goes for the Triple Crown. They've won the Canadian Bowl. They've won the Grey Cup. The Huskies are going for the Vanier, surprising or not surprisingly, kind of coincidentally, they're going against Montreal. But outside of that, like, what
sorry,
did you guys
Shane, to cut you off, but the Saskatoon Valkyries, like, I know we don't have a national championship for the women, but if there was, they probably would have won that as well.
Yeah, probably. I mean, women's football is seemingly growing aggressively out. I mean, Luke Wilson talked about it a couple weeks ago, how the Saskatchewan's like the mecca of football in Canada. Women's football is growing massively out there from what I've seen. But I don't know. Talk a little bit about the game itself. Saskatchewan best defense, arguably all year. They have all pros, arguably in every position. And that the big difference for me that game was Montreal couldn't get pressure, sending 5 or 6 guys. That offensive line did great, and they were able to get pressure on Davis Alexander, only sending 4 or 5. Micah Johnson, fantastic game. Absolute dog of a game in the middle, always in the middle of things. He was either causing problems in the pass or the run game. Like for someone in pushing his age, who most people have discounted year after year over the last couple of years, he just continues to produce. Also, shout out to the CFL PA.
He said he wants to come back too, which is cool.
Yeah. But shout out to all the CFL PA All Pros. I think there was like 6 from Saskatchewan this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think the game, I will say, I made a tweet about it. As someone who finds the CFL overuses the QB sneak, I find it very justifying that Montreal loses on a botched QB sneak.
Yeah,
and also Tommy Stevens, GOAT. at QB sneaks. If you have a player like Tommy Stevens, I can understand running it. Absolute goat.
It's
But
like
Shea Patterson,
Goat, but the other goat.
it was
Yeah.
like 3 yards a play by Tommy Stevens. Like that's just insane on short yardage. But I will also say that, and I'm sure we'll get into it in a minute, it was actually not a Saskatchewan defensive player the other day that made that play. It was his own fullback that like kind of got tossed into Shea Patterson, which caused him to fumble that ball.
Yeah, Tavon Campbell kind of like basically bench pressed his own guy. I honestly thought until I saw kind of Tavon Campbell essentially kind of forced it. It was almost like it's worse than the butt fumble, man. Like he literally got a forced fumble by his own back of his own player in the Grey Cup. Like that's something you never live down, man. Like that is just
Coach, I think you owe Shea Patterson an apology because he just won the Riders a Grey Cup, and you said that he wouldn't be a Grey Cup winning quarterback. So
here's a question for you. Trevor Harris. If you were in his shoes right now, you win your Grey Cup as a starter. You get MVP. Do you walk away or do you come back, try to win it, run it back again with Saskatchewan? Because most of these guys are going to want to stay. The community, the culture that they've built in Saskatchewan, unless someone is being lowballed considerably, I don't see many of these guys wanting to leave. Do you try to run it back at like 41 years old?
Yes. That's even a better way. Back to back, to go back to back and walk away, go into the sunset as a back to back champion.
Jeez.
That John Elway shit. Hey, do it.
I mean,
the
Riders have never done it as well.
It's November 2025. He's already talking about back to back. I love it.
I love it. Hey, no, but just look at the team. Look at our team and look at the window.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying.
It's like us.
No, but he's seriously right. Like, if you were to project, and I know free agency and none of that has happened yet, but if you were to project the West Final next year, would you guys not, all three of you others, agree that it'll probably be the Lions and the Riders again?
Mm-hmm.
At least, I'll say this. I think it'll at least probably be in Saskatchewan again.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why
Blake doesn't like that.
I mean, it's possible, but
as of right now, based on anything, yeah, I think you would be hard pressed for anyone not to think that the West Final is going to be between BC and Saskatchewan. I think it's just a matter of, is it in Saskatchewan or is it in BC? That's where it comes down to.
And of course, the offseason will, and I was going to say could, but will change that. Like, free agents will leave both teams. Maybe not as many as Saskatchewan as possibly BC, but rosters will change. The Elks will probably win the offseason again and think that they're going to be good and then won't be. So,
damn,
we're not to that part in the offseason yet.
No, we got like 2 months though. It's coming up quick.
It is, and then the Elks will be happy.
Hey, if Cody Fajardo's at quarterback, who knows? You don't have Trey Ford going 1-7, but impressing people with one dazzling play every 30 snaps.
Okay, we'll talk about Cody Fajardo. Serious note here, Shane. Coach already took a jab at you. Was there any satisfaction in seeing Trevor Harris lift the Grey Cup, or were you just spiteful? Let's be honest here,
I wasn't spiteful. Okay, here's the thing with Trevor Harris. From my personal feelings towards Trevor Harris, I don't hate the guy. I have no resentment towards him. I'm glad to see him finally win a Grey Cup as a starter.
But
there's always a but.
he didn't throw a touchdown pass.
Oh, I don't care about that. I mean, in the Grey Cup, you just care about scores. You don't look at individuals in that way. He did exactly what he needed to win them the Grey Cup.
Yeah.
Right? he took advantage of what Montreal was giving him. That's what he's always been really good at. Has been taking advantage of what the defense gives him. He didn't push the ball downfield that much. He had some really good throws downfield when the guys were open, and he was able to take advantage of it. But early on, it was those quick hitters, like 5-7 yards, and give it to your receiver, get a play. They were the quick throws. But like at the end of the day, like I'm not going to hate on him. He's a Grey Cup champion. He's a Grey Cup MVP. I don't agree with the Grey Cup MVP, but that's more so I think it should have gone to Logan Ferland or Hardrick, because that offensive line was stupidly great.
I don't think they've ever given it to an
I
offensive
know
line.
they never will. But I think the MVP of that game was the offensive line. Personally, that's just my belief. I think when you keep that type of defense to 0 sacks, and I think they only had like 4 true pressures all game, I think you deserve some recognition there. But I don't know. I mean, good on him. Personally, I think he should walk off the sunset as a champion. Don't come back next year. Just walk off with your Grey Cup MVP. And enjoy retirement. Go be a family man.
But
Damn.
The thing with Trevor Harris,
that was good.
the thing with Trevor Harris is that if he comes back next year and struggles in any way, the narrative around Trevor Harris has been the same his entire career, and it won't change just because he's won this game. If he comes back and struggles with Saskatchewan, and people will start labeling him as the reason why the team is struggling, even if it's true or not. We've seen it. We've seen it with McLeod Bethel Thompson. We've seen it with Bo Levi Mitchell. It doesn't matter what the quarterback does. Your record is what your quarterback is.
let's put it this way, Shane. Even though, and I didn't notice it until that final drive, when it was very evident that Davis Alexander was had messed up his hamstring again. Maybe Coach, you and Cole did notice it on the TV before that.
It was
but,
right in
Yeah,
front of
it
us.
was loud. It was very vocal. That he
It
was
was
very
yeah.
vocal.
It was right
yeah,
in
but
front
I
of
meant
us
like
when it
earlier in the
happened.
game, there was people saying that you could notice it, that he wasn't his
I didn't think so.
100%
Honestly,
self.
from the TV broadcast, honestly, like he looked for the most part fine. They suit. I don't know if Coach remembers it, but Suter was kind of trying to play into like that he wasn't able to be as mobile. I didn't think so at all. I thought he was just trying to be like a passer early on, and there wasn't really many rush lanes for him to kind of escape to. But yeah, as Coach said, you could definitely hear him on the TV copy when he went out of bounds and did re kind of like pop his hamstring or strain his hamstring. You could hear him go, "Ah, fuck!" And at that point, like I think that was with what that was under a minute to go or whatever. So
It
it's like
was.
at that point it was
It
like
happened like right in front of us. I'm like, oh, there go his chances.
Well,
if you're an
that was
outlet,
the first play of the final drive. So
yeah, if you're an
Yeah.
Alouettes fan, you're pretty much fucking boom. Know that it's just bullet in your brain pretty much from that point because he couldn't he just at that point it was they were cooked. So it's unfortunate, but hell of a season for Montreal as we kind of give them credit.
when Davis Alexander was the starter, it was.
Yeah, definitely, Blake. But I think similar to Saskatchewan, like they'll be maybe not back in the situation, but they're going to be competitive once again next year. I think Davis is only getting just started, so we'll save the Montreal talk for later. But Coach, I mean, what are your thoughts? We kind of talked about it, I think 2 weeks ago about the video we took. I think like a year ago to this time about kicking the door down and how funny it is that we're here now and going forward. I know kind of it's just like a weird feeling to like be champs. I'm sure.
It's a weird feeling because you got to understand, like when I came into this, it was the Craig Dickinson era, and I suffered and watched us get trounced 6 straight games in a row after Labor Day, back-to-back seasons. It's beautiful to see, but now what's next? That's where I'm at, is what's next for the Riders. And what's next for everybody.
Hey,
Not
I will
to take
say,
anything away.
You finally have the same great, or you have more Grey Cups than the Toronto Varsity Blues do. So that's a win. Hey,
Yeah,
I'm just
everybody
saying.
was
I'm just
taking
saying.
big
You
shots,
guys
dude.
won your 5th Grey Cup. Montreal's won 4 in the last 25 years. So at the end of the
But
day,
not to take anything away from coaches fandom as well, but like imagine being a Riders fan your entire life as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like someone that's
oh,
like
yeah,
40,
and watching
50
that.
years old who before 2007 had seen 2 Grey Cups as a franchise. 2.
Mm-mm-mm.
And how getting revenge on, and I obviously different teams, clearly different players, but from
Hell, Neil was
organizational
still there.
standpoint, the 09 and 2010 Grey Cups, from an organization standpoint, you should have won one of them. Like, and then to come in and win it in Winnipeg against a team that you've lost back to back before too, from a fan perspective and an organization perspective, that you couldn't have written a better script for this year.
And see how bitter Winnipeg fans were. They were talking. They were talking so much shit. It's like you motherfuckers weren't even in the dance. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny.
I feel like, well, obviously, Sam Emilus, most of Santa Canadian. Have to definitely talk about him. I thought personally, uh, I had some money on the line, so I was kind of trying to speak it into existence that Emilus would be the MVP of the game. I thought if like, because that was obviously just a distant dream. I thought it honestly should have been AJ Ouellette that won MVP of
Yes.
the game, in my opinion. And I've been very critical of AJ Ouellette over the years. But I thought he was, and that kind of almost leans into Shane's, offensive line, and obviously coming from an offensive lineman, but they don't get the credit they deserve. So it is
Never.
fair from Shane, but I thought AJ Ouellette, man, was very effective. Rushed for over 100 yards, obviously, was, I think, 17 or something like that carry. So it wasn't a lot of, could have been a bigger workload for him as well. And then he's kind of like just like the emotional leader for them. But obviously, Sam Emilus, I think he was 10 catches, over 100 yards as well. And he's been doing his job all year for the last 2 seasons. Arguably was their best receiver last year. This year was over 1,000 yards once again. Dealt with a little bit of injury, but very cool to see Sam Emilus kind of turn into this budding star receiver. So
And with Keyshawn being out, like I was worried that like when they announced Keyshawn being out, needing someone to take that step and be the guy, I was kind of curious on who was gonna take the opportunity to shine, because if Keyshawn was in, he would have been a big factor in the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
Can we talk for a second? Speaking of Keyshawn Johnson, and I'm sure the Riders will apply for and most likely be granted an exception, but how ridiculous is it that both Keyshawn Johnson and Joe Robustelli play pretty much the whole season, but because they didn't play in the Grey Cup, technically might not get their name on the Grey Cup?
What?
Yeah, so it's only the player, because of how many players are in and off a roster and whatnot. They limit who's on the Grey Cup based off the game day roster.
Mm.
crazy. Hopefully,
But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think they will definitely appeal and try to get it done.
Sorry, Marcus Sales is the other one, boys. It's a little bit of a hard one
Why'd
for
you have
me.
to
And
bring him up, Cole?
sorry, Blake, I have to though,
I was
because
just gonna say,
he's
go ahead,
he's
Cole.
he's made multiple teams though kind of do this, right? Where when Winnipeg kind of moved off them after their Grey Cup runs, BC was kind of like getting this guy that people thought like that Winnipeg was getting rid of, and kind of was like the thing that I like to say, like the 1 year early rather than 1 year too late. And then obviously BC kind of it was shown a little bit in the Arrow Up documentary 2 off seasons ago, I believe, when
Mm-hmm.
he was kind of like talking about mentoring some of the younger guys. It turns out like 2 weeks later he ends up getting cut, and then ends up obviously finding a home in Saskatchewan. He's made plays since basically he walked in the door in Sask. So, and obviously makes a big play for his team once again
2 of
after
them.
making a big play last week. So it's definitely a bummer to see it from a Lions fan perspective. I'm sure Blake hates it just as much as me, but he's a ball player, man, and continues to make plays at that corner spot. So love to see it. Got to give him a huge shout out for sure.
Yeah, he made 2 plays, Cole. He made the technically the first defensive play of the game with the interception, and then the last because he's the one that recovered that fumble in the end zone.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. And
But I will
honestly,
say,
I did agree with Shane that sorry, I was kind of coming in and out of that conversation, but I thought based off the replay they were showing on TSN that he was down at the one, and then they went to commercial, and then it came back that he was in the end zone, and it was to the 30. But there was a replay that definitely
there was
showed
also no
that.
communication about it to the fans in the building.
Yeah, for sure.
So
That
Is there
that
they
is something that I had a problem with multiple times
so
on
like they
Sunday
showed
night.
the first replay where it looks like he's down on the 1 yard line, and that's
so?
the
Yeah,
only replay they show.
the one from the sideline, it looks like he's on the one, and then the one that's behind the end zone, or like yeah, I guess behind the end zone, behind the uprights, you can definitely tell that the ball and his elbow or like his wrist are in the end zone. So right call for sure. But on initial replay, as I mentioned, it happened, showed one replay, it went to commercial. So I was like, oh man, like I thought that was down
Yeah,
at the one for sure. Then it came back from commercial, it showed the other angle of the replay, and then it was like, okay, that definitely makes sense. They're out at the 30 for a reason. But another guy, I guess, and to talk about the secondary even more, Devon Campbell, man, Saskatchewan product, University of Regina Ram alum, obviously goes and tries his NFL stint, and he made multiple plays. He obviously made arguably the biggest play in the game for Saskatchewan, kind of basically like as I said, bench pressing the blocker into Shea Patterson to force that fumble. And he's done great work all season long of kind of coming back and being a huge addition to the Riders' defense. That's kind of almost not completed them, but made them that much more dangerous in the secondary. Right when you have guys Roland Milligan, Sales, Campbell, and you look at their front, it's awesome. As Shane, I had to throw this in there about Micah Johnson. Me and as I said, my buddy Regan actually were watching the game together. We are like, man, Micah Johnson looks like just like the classic Unk of the cookout that's just like still wanting to relive the glory days, but he's reliving the glory days still. It's awesome. I was telling him how he's like the emergency offensive lineman, and he has like a emergency switch jersey on the sideline, and he's like, man, this guy's fucking put him in the Hall of Fame. Like he was loving it. It was awesome. But yeah, boys. I gotta ask actually, is there anything else lastly that I want to talk about the game? But is there anything else from you guys?
I was just gonna say like the one person that deserves all the recognition and should have just been named MVP, even though you can't name a coach MVP, should have been Andrew Harris.
Yeah.
Like the work, I don't know what type of magic voodoo shit
Just
that
win.
he did with Olette this offseason, but clearly whatever they worked together on was worked wonderful this year. Like seeing Olette from last year to this year, two completely different players. And hearing everyone talk about what he's brought to that, not just the running back position, but like to the like team as a whole. I think if there was a way to give a coach an MVP, Andrew Harris should be the number one candidate. Also, I know he probably he won't get on the cup, but he should more than likely get a ring. Is Kadeem Carey goes back to back?
Yeah, because his injury, which
Yeah.
is a bummer. That
So
happened versus BC back, I believe, whatever it was, 6 weeks ago when he broke his leg. That was a pretty gruesome one for
No,
sure.
it was
But
like
I,
week 6, beginning of the season.
was it? Sorry, Shane. Or sorry,
yeah,
Blake. Yeah.
yeah, it was
But
early in the year. It was when
as
Olette was hurt.
as Shane said, though, cool way to kind of if that is unfortunately the end because it was a pretty bad injury. He is getting up there, and we'll see how teams kind of react to that. But that is the end. He was a part of the team. He was effective when he was in there. So it definitely is a silver lining to it. But Andrew Harris, man, all the guy does is just win. 3
Win.
national championships with the Vancouver Island Raiders, 06, 08, 09.
He's
Obviously
won
5-time
everywhere.
Grey Cup champion now. So all the guy does is he comes in the building and wins. I don't know what I was thinking, honestly, now that I'm saying this out loud. I'm like, Raiders guy, Andrew Harris is my guy. Like I should have known this going in the Riders were gonna win. But lastly, boys, I had to talk about it because I know Shane's on my side as well. Made the meme. But what was your guys' reaction to obviously the commish getting booed? And I feel like obviously these fucking knuckleheads online that talk about the last real Grey Cup before all the
Oh
real
God.
changes.
My thing
Okay,
is,
first of all,
really
that's not
fucking-
even true. Next year will
yeah, just
be basically
one
the
second.
same game, but
1 second, boys. I saw like so many fucking dumbasses. I don't know because I feel like Shane, you guys are on Instagram as well. Like Argos News ran into Stuart Johnson in the airport,
Yeah, I saw that.
and he's like the dumbest
childish behavior.
childish shit, man. And that shit fucking pisses me off, number one. But number two, it hurts nothing but the CFL. All these fucking idiots that claim that it's my CFL. No, it isn't. So drop that fucking attitude. It's hurt the CFL for the last 30 to 40 years. They haven't evolved whatsoever. And now you guys are stuck in your way because my CFL and this is the way I watched it growing up. Well, newsflash. And we've had this conversation. That's why this is so frustrating. That every professional league has changed and adapted their rules and has done fine at staying their authentic self. So the
we
fact
just
that these
watched the
fans
Blue Jays play in the
have
World Series.
set these petitions and boo the commissioner and think that they're going to send this message and we're going to show him you're going to do nothing but not grow the CFL for the next 20 to 30 years, watch it continue to die, and it'll be nobody's fault but your own. So I'm tired of having these conversations. I get that we've had this conversation before, but it's honestly ridiculous at this point that these fans actually call themselves CFL diehards because honestly, in my opinion, they're not. They're the farthest thing from it.
The thing with booing,
So it's just it bothers me, to be honest.
the thing with booing the commissioner, I don't really care. Every commissioner gets booed in every league.
No, I don't give a shit about that. It's their message afterwards that we
My,
showed him.
but this is the thing though, is that you have former players, former CFLPA members.
Yeah, and that Peter guy's a fucking moron.
You have certain media members who don't have a greatest reputation with certain people in this league. You have people who straight up just calling TSN, who everyone who works for them, just bootlickers and being told to what to say and how to say it and whatnot. You have a certain TSN personality who has been egging on fans and calling out bad fan behavior or as he claims bad fan behavior all year. But this has been the issue with the CFL. Between like from a fan perspective, like I get it. Tradition is important. Every league has their own traditions, and they try to stay true to core traditions. The 110-yard field isn't like it's a tradition because it's been around forever, but like there's no benefit to it. Like one way or another, it doesn't really make a difference if you shorten the field by 10 yards.
That's a rule that might get revisited, but I heard some news at Grey Cup that I'm not willing to share yet, but just keep that in the back of your mind. Let's leave it at that.
If they go to 100 yards or 110 or 100 yards, you know, there's capabilities there, but it's not the end of the world. It's not going to change the game dramatically. The 15-yard end zones, it makes everything unison. It's not the end of the world. Most things don't happen in the back five of the end zone anyways, unless it's the corners. And most of those corners are cut in some of the in some stadiums, so it doesn't make a difference. It's easier to have unison 15 than it is to have a unison 20 right now. My biggest issue with everything is that the different side benches. Guess what? Grey Cup, different side benches. I think all stadiums out west have the teams on opposing sides. So don't know why people lump that in when they talk about the rules. The 35-second play clock. Go back and watch the Grey Cup. The play clock starts well after the game clock has started. And I get the final 3 minutes. That's easily fixable. That is easily something that can be fixed or managed to continue what we currently have in the final 3 minutes. If you have an issue with the end zones being pushed back, the yards, the losing 20 yards of total field. Be specific. Don't just say all the rule changes suck, because they don't. There's 2 rule changes that change the integrity or the tradition of the game. That's it. Nothing else gets changed. And in my opinion, the waggle that is severely underutilized in this league, severely underutilized, the 12 players, the unlimited motion, not just the waggle, there's unlimited motion, and the 65-yard field. And like even the rouge. I'm sorry, a rouge, like I get into this argument all the time talking to people. A rouge is rewarding failure. I don't care about field position. Field position doesn't matter at the end of the day. You know what fucking matters? Who's putting up the most points? You ask any offensive coordinator, any offensive player. Yeah, they might give you a PC answer. I was like, we got points. Points are, important. Doesn't matter if it's 3, 6, or 1. They're gonna say it. But guarantee you, when they're in the locker room, when they're in their team meetings, the OC isn't looking at a drive that ends in a rouge or ends in a field goal as a success. Their job is to put touchdowns on the board, not put up field goals. At the end of the day, you need the quality of the drives need to be the focus, not the quantity of the drives.
Mm-hmm.
That's what makes the NFL so exciting. Like the Colts didn't punt until like week 4 of the season.
Because they put fucking points on the board.
They put the quality of the drives need to change. And unless you want to go to 4 downs, because let's be honest, I don't think anyone here wants to go to 4 downs.
Mm-mm.
You need to find creative ways to have high quality drive. You can't have a game, and it's going to happen no matter what you do, but out of your 4 games a week, you should be able to avoid having one of those games be a punt fest in the first 57 minutes of the game. And I think or even 54. And I think that's the big thing that people don't want to talk about is like, you can have a great final 3 minutes of a game or final 3 great minutes of a half. Doesn't matter. It doesn't erase how bad the other 57 to 54 minutes of gameplay were. And that's what these rules are designed to help change. But hey, if people want to keep claiming that's the loss of the CFL or last true CFL game, let them.
I thought that was bullshit, honestly.
Yeah, honestly, the thing that pissed me off the most was that Monday morning, the day after Grey Cup, half my Twitter feed is the Riders celebrating, rightfully so, and the other half was fucking fans complaining about that was the last game I'll ever see, and we gotta send Stuart Johnson a message before he ruins our league. And it's like, what?
Shut the fuck up!
What dream are you living in? That people think like this, man. It's delusional.
The league has been like ridden of bad ownership.
Right.
Like consistently bad ownership. Somehow, like is the delusion that some of these people live in that everything is like the rose-colored glasses on some fans is outstanding. And I would love whatever they're having and live in that type of delusion and think the league will continue to prosper without having to change certain things.
Can I throw my titty in here real quick?
Go for it.
I'm more pissed off at I saw all through my Instagram, on my Twitter, rightfully so, like Cole said, was celebrating, happy, won the Grey Cup, the whole 9. But to see fans do what they do, that's the reason why you're fans. That's the reason why you guys are where you are. Because you don't understand the business and you don't understand the intricacy of football. And the other thing that pissed me off was there was the parade. I saw people bitching, moaning, complaining about how, they had cigars and, they had alcohol. And there was a lot of cussing with the players and blah, blah. It's like, have you ever seen a championship parade where there was none of that? NFL,
Bro, no, pretty sure
it's a party.
pretty sure when the Raptors won in 2019, and I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure there's multiple pictures of Kyle Lowry and Kawhi Leonard smoking a cigar on the bus in the middle of the parade.
It's a celebration.
Like,
and there's what, 3 teams in the CFL that would do this? Like, I know Toronto somewhat had a mini parade or whatever you want to call it in Raptor Square.
They don't give a shit about
that was like hundreds of people rather than Winnipeg and Sask show up in thousands.
Ottawa had a massive parade when we won in 16. Massive.
Yeah, so I'm sure it does happen elsewhere. The thing that also bothers me is that people come at the commissioner and the TSN people that they're just robots following along with the plan that Stuart Johnson doesn't believe our league's good enough. All 4 of us agree that our league's fine just the way it is, but it also can evolve with these rules and stay the same, as we've already talked about. So it can be okay to like watch some leagues or watch some change come into your league and it be your game still. It's still, as Shane said, 12 guys, 65 yards wide. The ball's still bigger. Like
the core things that make
the
it
ratio
what it
is still here. And you want to talk about something that is holding the league back? It's the ratio. I will die on this hill. As much as I think the ratio is positive, and there's players in the league that a couple 15 years ago may not have gotten a chance without the ratio, and the ratio has helped keep players on versus just bringing in Americans. The ratio needs to be adjusted. It doesn't need to go away. I think, in my opinion, you need to revisit the snap count, how veteran Americans are viewed, how
so stupid this
certain you don't have to get rid of the ratio. But you look at certain teams at certain parts of the year, and every team goes through it. I'm going to use Ottawa this year as a prime example because they dealt with an ungodly amount of Canadian injuries. An ungodly amount. I think at no point during their season did they not have at least 7 Canadian starters or starting quality players.
You started your season by Nick Marner ending his season pretty much, and from that point
you had Nick Marner, Tunde Adeleke, and Dante Bull gone before the season even started. You lost your starting Canadian receiver, your backup Canadian right tackle, and probably your backup half/corner linebacker, maybe even a starting halfback, gone before the start of the season. And you also lost your starting center and your backup center before the start of the season. You lost your starting right tackle. The amount of injuries Ottawa suffered for Canadians, ungodly. I've not seen something like that ever. But besides the fact is that restricted how good of a roster you could put on a field given the snap counts.
Yep.
In my opinion, someone like Stanback, who's been in the league for 6 years, should just count as a Canadian. They should just be able to be, as a starter, should just be allowed to count towards being a Canadian and not be restricted by only being able to do 23 snaps or 25 snaps a game in replace of a Canadian. Mm-hmm. A guy like Eugene Lewis, also been in the league for 5-6 years. Same thing. I think we need to look at the ratio in a way that positively reinforces Americans staying up here for long periods of time without it being convoluted and restricted based off snap counts, because you don't want to take Canadians off the field. Newsflash, there's not enough starting quality Canadians to have this rule in place without it impacting the game. Because the starting Canadians are either in the NFL right now, the high-end quality Canadians are in the NFL, they're even the young ones, or they're already starting. They're already in the league. They're already starting. So when those injuries start to happen, there's not a funnel. There's not a tool. There's not a conveyor belt of starting Canadian players that can just pop in and have, a guy come off the street after being in office for, 6 months and go up against Willie Jefferson with a week's of practice. Like, there's just not enough quality guys in that regard. So yeah, I think people are going to hate the ratio talk. People love the ratio for some reason. But I think for the CFL to grow, any more than these rules, the ratio needs to be adjusted.
Yeah. Blake, what you think? Put your stake on it.
Yeah, no, I agree with a lot of what Shane said. I mean, like I said, and I said when the rule changes were first announced, like the only one that kind of upset me per se was the 100-yard field. And again, I'll say it again, like that maybe revisited is how I'll put it right now. I don't feel comfortable enough sharing anything else because what I heard this past weekend was just rumors. But like all the other rule changes, they make sense. I mean, like, I don't know, Cole, Shane, I'm sure you've probably seen it, but Cole and Coach, like, have you guys seen the NFL memes picture when the Alouettes were at the 1 yard line?
Mm-hmm.
It was 1-0 in the first quarter, and it was 3rd and goal. And the caption was, I have so many questions. And do you want to know the one thing that I thought of when I saw that picture, guys?
What?
The goalpost.
It was the defender hiding behind the goalpost. And if that is at the back of the end zone, that doesn't happen. Like, let's go back to the 2019 West Final. The first Grey Cup that the Bombers made in their run of 5 straight was because Cody Fajardo hit an upright. If he doesn't hit that upright, it's probably a touchdown. That game probably goes to overtime because the Riders kicked the extra point, and you don't know what happens after that. So all of these rules, as much as we like to crap on Stuart Johnson, he truly, and he said that at his State of the Union address. He said that when the rule changes were first announced, he did not make it clear enough that he does not want the Canadianization of the game or the Canadiana of the game to go anywhere. And it's not going to. What he's doing is trying to make this game better. And I think we need to give him a shot to do that.
Like,
Well
I'm going to
said,
be
Blake.
honest. You watch the Grey Cup, none of the proposed rule changes negatively impact the Grey Cup. Like, the Rouge still happens.
Because it was conceded.
Give up the Rouge no matter what. Because that's how you give up a Rouge. You surrender the single point. So guess what? That Rouge stays on the board. There was no like the missed kick is still a missed kick. You kick it wide, you kick it wide. Sure, you don't have a return. That's like the only thing that you don't have.
Yes, but in that case, Shane, with the amended Rouge, the Riders still don't get a Rouge on that
They
play.
they don't get a Rouge. So you don't so you miss out on a 10-yard return. Whoop-de-doo. Like, okay, great. But the Riders don't get a point there. So it doesn't change anything. You still have a 1-possession game when Lothar misses that field goal. Like, nothing gets changed out of that, the rule changes. And my thing is, people are like, oh, we've seen like an increase in missed field goal returns. Like, all these missed field goal returns, big plays, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, because kickers are kicking it from further away and they're missing more. Like, why are we having a discussion about missed field goals when we should be having a discussion about the kickers missing field goals? Like, over 40, I believe they were like 70%. So out of 10 field goals, they were missing 3 over 40. They were almost automatic inside 40. Like, are we just going to ignore the fact that like the kickers in this league can like struggle kicking from distance? Like, is that not something that we should maybe talk about more than, players returning a missed field goal? I feel like the focus needs to be in one area, because it seems to be a problem because every kicker seems to be struggling, but it's in another area because it's more exciting.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. People are going to complain. People are going to be mad. People are going to say whatever they want to say. I don't believe anyone when they say they're going to stop watching the CFL.
Nope. They
I
gonna
think
hate
it's a bunch of
watch.
BS. It's just a bunch of BS. And if you are, and you want to leave over 4 or 5 rule changes, you must have left during American expansion. You must not have been a fan during that. You would have hated that. The Americans didn't have to follow the ratio. Must have hated that rule. Must have hated the crossover too, because the crossover didn't happen until the 90s. Like, I don't know. Social media now, like everyone will find something to complain about. Doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
So I don't believe anyone who says they're going to stop watching the CFL because of these rules. And if they do, well, clearly you don't love the CFL as much.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, boys, we do have another game to talk about, but like,
I do want to quickly go over the CFLPA All Stars because I believe, in my opinion, they're the true All Stars.
I would agree with that.
I think they could update their format. I think the way the voting works is a little weird. Like could be improved on. I don't think it gives a full indication, but I do agree that it's better than the actual CFLPA or the CFL All Stars.
You can't vote for your own teammates, right? So you have to vote for like players that play your position or whatever, or like.
So you can't vote your own team, and you're voting for the position group that you go directly against. So my understanding is like defensive linemen vote for offensive linemen. DBs vote for like receivers, linebackers.
Which they must just hate to do, unless they're a couple buddies on their team. But like low key, if they're like, "Fuck, like that guy gave me a ton of problems all year. I ain't voting him. Fuck him."
Yeah. See, I feel like the players are honest about it.
Yeah, for sure. They're gonna recognize game for sure.
Exactly. I think it's the most accurate all-star team, and I think that's across the board. Anytime you have a PA where it's a player voted all-star team, in my opinion, is always going to be the most accurate versus some very biased sports writers in this industry. And not just the CFL. I think it's across the board. There are some very.
And do we know how many did all CFLPA members vote on this?
It was like I think like 400 or 500. I can't remember the exact number. It was a record-setting number.
How many players in the league?
There's like 600 or so.
600. So
because all you need is to play one game. So if you played one game in the CFL this year, you were eligible to vote.
75% of the league voted then, per se?
I think so, something like that.
Okay, that's good.
So we'll start with offense. Quarterback Nathan Rourke. We also didn't go over the awards. We should probably go over the awards after.
Yeah.
But Nathan Rourke.
Swept by the West Division.
Ante Milanovic Litre as fullback. Justin Rankin, running back. Coulter Woodmansey, Brandon Revenberg, Liam Dobson as center, guard, and guard. So Hamilton gets the interior of the offensive line. Jamarcus Hardred and Stanley Bryant take your 2 tackle spots. Surprise to no one there.
I kind of thought Drill Broxton should be in that conversation a little bit more, but he's obviously been underrated and doesn't get.
I was surprised that Dobson and Woodmansey got the nom. I wasn't shocked that it was Revenberg, Hardrick, or Bryant. Like I thought those 3 were kind of a lock, but I definitely was expecting like Furland to get that center spot,
for sure.
not Woodmansey.
That was another surprising one for sure. Everybody's Stanley's everybody's uncle. Everybody just votes Stanley just because it's
because he's goated. I
agree.
Even at his age, he is easily the most dominant offensive lineman. Like for being a left tackle and being like 41, dude had a great year.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not taking any credit away from him. I just think if you follow that Bryson guy that does all the CFL PFF stats, Jarrell Broxton is top 3 in every
Oh, yeah.
category there is. He is also never giving the recognition that he deserves. And literally, least sacks given up. In part, Nathan Rourke does get the ball very fast, but left tackle doing a great job blocking for Nathan Rourke's blindside for the last, even for VA last year.
The issue that I have with PFF is that there's no way to verify their numbers. Like, they're not available the same way NFL or NCAA are. Like, they're not really accessible to everyone. So, like, using PFF is very restrictive for CFL, in my opinion. It just, without being able to like verify for yourself, for him to be like, here are the numbers, you just kind of have to take him at his word. And it's not like I'm saying he's lying. It's just,
you could say that about PFF for the NFL though too. I know they have more data on it, but the big argument for everybody that doesn't like PFF is that they don't know the assignment of what's going on and that they could be wrong in their grading. So
yeah, I mean, their grading isn't perfect. But I'm just saying, like, if someone says, oh, this player per PFF is like an 87, there's a way for you to verify that PFF is actually saying he's an 87. There's no way to verify the CFL if someone is saying that he's an 87, right?
For sure,
and that's my issue. Is like, I'm not saying I know who it is, and I'm not saying he's lying because I don't think he would. But I think that's what, like, mine, and I've seen a lot of other people say, like, not being able to verify the numbers that are being put out. You're curious on how the grading works and how they got to this, and like how it breaks down the way in the CFL. Because I've had talk with some guys over
a lot more than anything else that's out there.
To be fair, the grading sucks for offensive linemen in this league because the amount of pass protection there is.
For sure.
But going to the receivers, nice variety of receivers. You got Keon Hatcher, Nick Dembski, Kenny Lawler, and Keyshawn Johnson to round out your offense. So Hamilton comes away with 5 offensive guys, 5 out of the 12, or 13.
With the fullback, yeah.
It was also really weird how they announced it because it was like after the awards, but it was like at the awards after party where like they had Farhan announcing it, but no one was really paying attention. Like,
they did that last year too, Blake.
I know.
Yeah, it's because the CFL.
I feel like they could do it a better way. That's all.
For sure, but they did it in lines. Then I honestly didn't know what was happening. Just stumbled into Lions Den and was like, "Oh, Farhan's on the stage talking." So I went over there, and they were doing the CFL All Stars last year. I was like,
"Well, it's because it's new,
would have been
right?
really good to tell some people."
Because this is new. I think they just started doing this again. I don't think it's like, I can't remember. I feel like they started it back up in 2024. So if I remember correctly,
Shane, you have the hat from last year, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they were giving out to the All Stars last year. Is they gave them the hat and the T-shirt.
Yeah. So I would expect that as this begins to be more of a thing, you'll see a better release than what we've seen the last 2 years. And on defense, you got Jalen Hutchins and Jonah Tavai. Tavai? Is it Tavai or Tavai?
Tavai. No, you said it right the first time.
As your defensive tackles, Matthew Betts and why do I always Ormalade out of Calgary. There you go.
Flo Ormalade.
Yeah. Cameron Judge, Michael Alway, and Derek Moncrief as your linebacking trio. And then Jamal Peters, Adrian Green, Roland Milligan, and Damon Webb, and Kenneth Katsatonis as your secondary for your defense. Calgary, very dominant. You got Webb, Green, Moncrief, Armalade, and Hutchings. So 5 guys on defense. And then special teams, Castillo, which was kind of surprising. I thought Harilalu or Maltos would have got this one. I definitely expected Maltos to be the one named. Meyer, the punter out of BC, Huss and Vival were your special teams for your long snapper and returner, and then Corey Mace with the coach.
Yeah, and I know we're going to talk about this in a minute. That was really weird as well because and Cole can actually go back and verify this. I believe I tweeted that because Mace was named the coach of the All-Star team, that meant he was coach of the year. That's actually not the case.
True.
That's not getting announced until the combine in
Which is
March.
stupid. So stupid.
I
Like,
don't
why
know
don't you
why.
just announce it with all the
yeah.
other awards?
Because they
it's-
changed it last year. I
But
don't
it
know.
makes no sense.
It doesn't make much sense. It's kind of weird that like the combine does like involve the coaches a little bit, but like in a sense, that's like the scouting department and
Yeah,
like
I don't get
yeah,
it.
obviously the coaches are there and they have a huge input and stuff, but it's like that it kind of just like feels like the CFL was like, let's just take it away from awards night, which is like let's maybe rethink this. We're taking away a major award, and then you're just gonna like awkwardly give it to Corey Mace or whoever wins it, like at the
Yeah. I mean,
combine,
it
like
should be Corey Mace.
Mhm.
It should be,
what?
But I will
what's the-
say, so Royal Retro's partners with the CFLPA to do the All-Star stuff. 2 jerseys for sale this year instead of 1 last year. Well, they had 2.
white ones, right?
They had the white and the red. This year they have a black one. $100 to get like a replica player jersey. They also have a
Canadian?
T-shirt, a hat, and then an authentic jersey. Really good pricing.
Canadian trade?
Canadian price, yeah, $100 Canadian for CFLPA All Star replica jersey, and you can pick any of the All Stars.
yeah,
Who
because
were
I was
named.
gonna say that was at Grey Cup, weren't they selling it? But
I'm not sure if they were selling the jersey at Grey Cup. I didn't see it. They might have. I didn't see anything about it. So if you're interested in repping your favorite All Star, head over to Royal Retros and get yourself a jersey for next season. Especially if they end up, especially if a player who's on a team you don't like. If you're a Winnipeg fan, but you love Milligan or Keyshawn and you want to rep them in a way that isn't repping the green, you got the All Star jerseys to grab.
no one will ever admit to that, Shane. But
I that's why they have the All Star jerseys. You can just it's like NHL team. Hey, let's be honest, we've all done it for an NHL team. NHL player, there's a guy on an opposite team. He makes the All Star. You're like, hey, I can get this All Star jersey, and I'll get
that's
this
not
player
true.
on
I
it.
don't do the All-Star jersey. I buy their Olympic jersey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just think of it like an Olympic jersey.
Like awards?
Yeah, I'll pull those up.
Nathan Rourke, Trey Vaval.
I will just one thing I will say around the Grey Cup. Two things. They need to bring every team. Every team should have merch in some capacity.
Mhm.
The fact that I think only BC ended up having some on Friday night, had none Thursday night, and they had a small selection on Friday night.
No, it was there on. I was in there on Thursday, and I'm pretty
It
sure
must
they
have
had
come
some
in
stuff
after
on
I was
Thursday.
in there because that table was all Edmonton stuff.
Pretty sure they had some stuff on Thursday, but anyways,
Um,
I do agree with that.
and then they need a patch. They need a patch on the jersey. I don't care how you make it work. You need the Grey Cup patch on the team's jersey, and you should sell the patch.
Correct.
Like I
agree.
don't know why I don't get why they don't do it. It makes no sense to me.
Because I can't lie, I hate this. I hate the sponsor, the mobile sponsor.
Yeah,
back
I'm hoping
here.
that's a one and done.
Oh fuck! Because it just looks like hella like.
Out of
Isn't
place.
that a gas station like in the prairies or
I
whatever?
think it's an auto shop, I believe. I could be wrong, but
I thought it
just
was like a
looks-
phone thing.
No,
No,
it's definitely like either a gas or a mobile like Cole
it kind of
said,
reminds me of like European football or like seeing
Yeah.
something like overseas, and I'm just like, oh, like don't
I'm
take it off.
I'm really hoping it's a one and done. Find a
Yeah.
different spot for it.
And they just randomly dropped it, and like
Yeah.
at the end of the season, it was so weird.
Yeah, they put
It
it in the
wasn't even
playoffs.
the
and
end
that
of
was
the
it.
season. It was the playoffs.
It was the playoffs, and
Was
they
it
didn't
just
even
playoffs?
mention anything. I don't recall any type of post.
No,
No,
You
it was just there.
It was just there on the jersey.
Yeah.
But anyway,
yeah, we'll
Shane,
run
I stole your
through-
thunder, but Nathan Rourke, MLP and MLC, Trey Vaval, Rookie of the Year, and
special teams.
Special Teams Player of the Year. Yoshi Hardrick was Lineman of the Year. Andrew Pearson won the
Tate.
Community
Tate
Award.
Memorial Award.
Yeah. and Logan Ferland won the Jake Gandar Award.
And
Is there
then
anything else I'm missing?
Matthew Betts was most outstanding
Oh,
defensive
right.
player.
Defensive Player of the Year.
What do you guys think of that? I know there's been a lot of talk around the West sweeping the awards. What's your opinion? I know you guys are all Western boys, but what is your opinion on this? I'll just straight up say, outside of Matthew Betts, I
Agreed
think
with it.
everyone was deserved. I think you can make an argument around Vival and the
Rivera
special teams player.
Oh,
Even rookie of the year, I think injuries definitely played a part with like Verisak and Alford getting hurt and Sluka getting hurt at different points. I think that definitely played effect into it. But I think him winning is justified. So I have no issue with this East versus West thing. I do think they need to change their format to just the top three players, no matter the division. Like I think the East West division finalists, not every team needs a finalist. I think that's my biggest issue. Top three players, that's it. But my only issue is Matthew Betts with the defensive player of the year.
Yeah, I have no issues with it at all. And I know you and I and Cole have disagreed throughout the last month and a half of this season. Like, I know why you disagree with it, Shane, but the numbers say that he deserved it. And I get your argument. Like, we've heard it. We don't need to rehatch it. Most of his numbers came in a 3-week to a month stretch. But, like, the voters, like it or not, the voters don't really care about that. They care about what the entire season looks like, and they care about recency bias.
Yeah,
and it would have been different.
Massive recency bias.
It would have been different if he had his massive weeks in weeks 1, 2, and 3 and whatever, and then didn't do anything the end of the season. But because he did his big weeks at the end of the season, and overall his numbers still looked pretty good, that's why he won the award.
I know, and it's, in my opinion, like 9 out of your 15 sacks come in 3 weeks against 2 opponents. There were better defensive players that had there were better defensive players with better stat lines.
Yes, but the way the voting works now, better defensive players that you and I talked about privately that I would have even voted for didn't get nominated as finalists by their own team.
Yeah, and I think that's why you need to go to just the 3 best players. No more team votes. No more team nominations. Because again, I don't. There's certain players I just don't understand weren't put into the voting category for certain awards, including the Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I just don't like. You look at AJ Allen, and you look at his stat line, and you explain to me how he isn't a nominee for it based off of his stat line. I don't get it. Like he was like top 5 in tackles. He had 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions as a linebacker. Like if that stat line was with Winton McManus, he would have been the odds-on favorite to win it out of the East. Okay. Like I don't understand how his stat line. And don't get me wrong, I love Thurman. Thurman had a great year, but he had a better stat line than Thurman. And I just don't know how you justify not having him as Saskatchewan's nominee. And that alone is why I think you just go to the best 3 players, no matter the division, no matter the team. If you have the same team having 3 guys for the Defensive Player of the Year award, so be it. Clearly, you deserve it. That's my gripe with it, and it's something I don't like Matthew Betts. I just when you look at his game over game and you just see 9 sacks in 3 weeks and he finishes with 15, that means the other 15 weeks he was basically non-existent for most of the season.
And I would agree. Like we talked about that at the beginning of the season.
Like people are looking at the final numbers. He led the league in sacks, great, but like he dominated 2 really shitty teams for 3 weeks. But when he was up against some of the better teams, he was non-existent.
I mean, he got hurt in the West final, but I know that
I'm
doesn't
not
make a
talking about
difference
playoffs. Like, playoffs are
because
different. Like
because
regular
the
season.
voting is already done.
He's also
so.
hurt
Like-
during the regular season as well. We had this conversation, and I also told you guys that. But
Then he should have sat. He should have sat.
you can't just sit, Shane. That's not how professional athletes work. That's
No,
outrageous
if
to
you're
think
not
that
helping
to
the
sit
team,
down. Shane, they had nobody up front, and to tell your best pass rusher to sit down when your team's not doing good is unrealistic in pro football. I hate to say it. They were 2-6 at the time, or whatever they were, before they got Bradley Anae and Levi Bell. And that was the biggest additions for them, because it opened up them even that much more, that Betts didn't have to get literally all eyes on them because they didn't have anybody else. As I said, there's a video
you're
proof on
telling
my
me
YouTube channel. I
that
said it
going-
before that not only is Betts hurt, he's playing with Kameka Ture, who's useless, and Sione Chiamo, who's never done anything outside of be suspended for the BC Lions. What happened when he got some functional pass rushers opposite him?
So you're telling me that going 4 games with 2 tackles is better than sitting out when you're not healthy? Like, you think that's helping the team?
Who do they have out? They didn't have anybody
But
else
you
to
did-
trust, Shane,
you-
is what I'm
you-
saying to you.
Two tackles in 4 games.
Shane,
You're
you
telling me
just
that's
talked about the
better
Canadian
for
depth.
the-
Who could they have went to on that roster, Shane?
I
They
don't know.
didn't have anybody else. They didn't have a Canadian edge rusher.
Christian Covington.
Make
Who?
things work. But I'm just saying, like, if he's hurt, you're telling me that you're okay with him being on the field, hurt, putting up 2 tackles total
Shane, it's
over 4 weeks. You think
football.
that's better in the middle of the season? Him on the field for 4 weeks putting up 2 tackles is better than taking like a week or 2 off to get healthy?
He clearly
Is
did
that
get healthy.
better?
He clearly got healthy. He had 15 sacks.
Yeah, after the bye week. Well, actually, that's not true. It was a week after the bye.
Motherfuckers, he won the award. Who gives a damn?
I'm just saying, like, you're using injury as an excuse, and I'm just looking at his numbers. I'm like, if he's not healthy, and he's dealing with something that's limiting him to 3 sacks from week 1 to week 11.
Okay, who could they have went to, Shane? You didn't answer that question.
Bring someone in, move pieces around.
Does it really matter now?
There's no funnel of Canadian players you said to go to. They didn't have Hayden Harris.
You're telling me BC was so bad they couldn't move some positions around to have American starting defensive end? You're telling me BC is that bad with their cat with their
Americans on the offensive line, Shane?
Yeah, but you could still move people around.
You needed Betts to start. You needed Betts as the Canadian. We start 4 Americans on the offensive line.
You can move things around.
You just complained about how Ottawa. Oh, well, what was me with Ottawa and the injuries?
You're talking to someone who literally watched Ottawa have to move pieces around to hit the ratio because we didn't have enough Canadians. I'm just saying.
You suck shit.
I am just saying that there's no way to tell me that BC was better off starting an injured Matthew Betts.
Who could have played for him? They didn't have anybody on the roster.
I'm just this who could play for him doesn't matter in this situation. You're telling me that an injured Matthew Betts
to bring
was better for the roster than trying to make things move around. You're telling me that the team is so bad that they had to start an injured Matthew Betts than trying to move an American into that defensive end spot.
Yes.
Then the GM needs to do a better job.
They literally, at that point of the season, they had the worst defense in the CFL. Yes, they were that bad.
And again, I don't know how his two tackles over 4 weeks is a benefit to the team. That's what I'm saying.
This was going to be a short episode, but
production-wise,
how are the Canucks doing?
Well, we don't have anything else to talk about.
Production-wise, I just don't understand from a production. We talk about it all the time. If you're not helping the team win, you're hurting the team. There is no way you look at what he did over week 1 through 11,
Shane,
especially when he went
that, though.
4
You're smarter
weeks.
than that. You played football.
Oh shit!
If
Oh
you're,
shit!
yeah, you play football, and guess what?
So you're just
If
cherry
you're
picking his
not helping,
numbers.
if you're not a benefit to the team when you're on the field, you're hurting the team, especially in the trenches. Especially in the trenches. If you can't push off, if your legs are fucked and you can't get power under your legs or your arms messy, you can't get
say
power.
something?
You are useless. You
Can
are
I
literally
say
just a
something?
pylon.
Can I say something, please? Because I just
Go for
listen to you motherfuckers go back and forth about this shit. The nigga won the award. It don't matter how he won the award. He won the fucking award. 15 sacks. AJ Allen, I agree, should have been in the conversation and should have been there, but it wasn't sexy enough. The fact that he had that boost of 9 sacks in 3 fucking weeks, we can debate all fucking night, but we're not. He won the fucking award, okay? God damn.
This was literally Shane asking if we agreed with the awards, and then it turned into a debate for
Well, it's because
20
you
minutes.
brought up me not agreeing with it.
Well, if you take away his 9 sacks, what did he have? It's like, well, you don't just take it away. That's not how.
Something.
But you have to. You have to look at the entire body of work.
You can't erase
week over the year.
You can't erase what happened, Shane.
Everybody shut the fuck up.
I'm not erasing it, but I'm saying that from an overall standpoint, those 3 weeks shouldn't just erase every other week that he produced. He didn't produce.
He did it. It doesn't matter. The fact that he did it. Yes, he was hurt.
I've never seen somebody's try to 9 sacks in 3 games, and he's like, nope, not good enough.
You can't discredit.
That's outrageous.
I mean, no, I'm saying though those 9 sacks in 3 games is great, fantastic. That's great for him.
That's got to be an award. Let's move on.
But the fact is,
Vanier Cup
is that the overall work of the season, the entire body of work over the season, was not good. And those 3 weeks shouldn't erase the other 15 weeks of football.
To us, we're in the media. We're not voters, but we're in the media. We don't have a vote. To them, it was more sexy. It was more appealing. It was more, oh wow, he really he took a big leap. Matthew Betts did that. He got 9 sacks in 3 fucking weeks. It is what it is. We can't discredit the man for the fact, yes, injuries happen in football. You can't control it. But the fact that on the back end, he balled. Let that man have his award.
The only thing I would disagree with, Coach, is that I wouldn't say he made a leap. He went from 20 sacks last year or 2 years ago to not being good enough. He more so like came back to his old self. He didn't really make a leap, but
I'm saying, but for this season alone.
No, I get your point and I agree with it. But
also, I will say, Chris Jones absolutely ruined Matthew Betts in Edmonton.
Yes,
Chris Jones ruined a lot of people.
Hey, I hear Hamilton still has an opening. Maybe Chris Jones wants to ruin another.
I can't do another season with Milanovic and Chris Jones in the same sideline. My head will hurt.
Like two sacks across 18 games.
Hey, even better, Coach. Toronto still has an opening.
Oh God, if they hire Chris Jones.
No, they're going to go Ken Austin. That's who they're going to go.
A man who hasn't coached in 8 years.
They might be a lot.
He's been coaching down south.
Yeah.
He was this current.
He hasn't coached in the CFL in 8 years though.
Yeah,
okay,
he's
hey, they might go get Coach La Police. You never know.
I don't think Coach goes back to a head coaching job. I think
Mike O'Shea was very upset. He's
doing the Olympics.
I just saw that on Instagram like a couple minutes ago. He was pissed.
Bro, like you are a public figure in a public place. Shut up.
No, the thing with O'Shea, he was very clear. He wasn't upset about the picture. He was just annoyed with what happened afterwards. Because it sounds like he got bombarded with like texts from players and like staff and personal friends and family.
Well, that's not the guy who took the picture's fault.
No.
Like, rightfully so, dude. If you go on a visit to another team, like you should hear from your players. Like, why not decline it?
But anyways,
I think it's more of like.
Should we quickly talk about the Vanier? Because we're already at an hour 20.
Where do you have to go, Blake?
Nowhere, but I'm hungry, bro.
What you
Should have
eat?
ate before the show.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But yeah, the Vanier, Saskatchewan Huskies versus the Montreal Caravan. I don't know if you guys saw before we jump into it. Persevere, or however you pronounce it, put a post out, I believe, earlier today or yesterday. The Bishop Gators may be leaving the ASU ahead of 2026 and going back to the
Thank
RSU.
gosh.
Which I think
They've heard Shane talking.
which would put apparently one of the reasons is like high cost of travel, which makes sense because most of the schools are like 10 to 12 hours away from each other.
God damn.
From Bishops to any of the schools in the AUS, so it makes no sense. But yeah, that would be a major shakeup in the.
Are you going to talk about their quarterback, Blake?
I was, yeah, because that was.
I thought that's what
I knew that he was not playing. Like I knew they were playing a first year, but I didn't know the reason why until it came out in Grey Cup. Cole, did you? I mean, you're connected more to Canada West and kind of U Sport than the other three of us are. Did you know about that? Like,
yeah. So I actually reached out to Riker Frank, who's their starting running back, who I had on the podcast last year when Persevere. They posted 2 weeks ago, I believe. It was
yeah, because we didn't have a show last week. That's right.
It was before the
Hardy, or maybe it was after the Hardy, one of the two. And obviously, I thought I mentioned it 2 weeks ago when we had a show, but maybe I didn't. Anton Amru, the University of Saskatchewan Huskies starting quarterback for the year, Canada West All-Star, was unfortunately diagnosed with cancer, I believe. As I said, I don't remember the exact details of when it was, but
Hopkins lymphoma and H2H, whatever. I don't know what the H2H means, but that's what, if I remember correctly, was what it is.
And so Jake Farrell's actually stepped in. He's not a first year, Blake. He's actually, I believe, a third year. He's been on the team, I want to say, since we went to that game together in 23, I want to say. He's been on the Huskies program. He's kind of been like their short yardage quarterback. But obviously, as I said, I thought I said this 2 weeks ago when we recorded, but maybe it was on something else. But just thoughts and prayers, obviously, from all four of us go out to everybody in the program, and then obviously in the Ammonrood family. During this difficult time, I know a lot of the guys, Daniel Weeb, holding up the ones and stuff like that after he scored last week. They're obviously playing for their brother in this difficult time, and something that's, for a young athlete, man, I would imagine is just like kind of, you feel like the world's kind of caving in around you when you're, to be on the steps of, your biggest stage in a Vanier Cup possibly, and obviously to have it taken away from you in this situation is horrible, but this feels like storybook, and hopefully I'm not going to jinx it that they go on to win next week and they do it for their guy. But to me, man, I'm going to be obviously wearing a lot of green on Saturday or Sunday, whenever the Vanier Cup is, and
Saturday.
hoping they're able to bring it home. They said that I believe they were able to talk to him in some sort of capacity. I don't know if they FaceTimed him in the locker room after, or they phoned him or whatever. So just an absolute shitty situation in the football world, especially, kind of in the West Coast here in the Canada West, I guess you could say, where I do have a little bit of connections and we're able to kind of see what's happening. Because I didn't know what happened. I thought he got hurt maybe like I said, I don't know if it was in the Hardy, or if it was in kind of the weeks following.
It sounds like it was the last week of the season, if I remember correctly. The article saying was that it was the last game of the season. He felt some pain.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. I didn't want to ask like how it happened. I was curious if like it was like they did like a physical and like they just found something, or
there was let me see if I can find the
yeah, and I just want to say that, I mean, obviously this young man's health and is top priority, but if he's able, like, I'm not sure where he's getting treatment or anything like that, but man, like, it would be such a tear-jerking moment if the Huskies do win the Vanier Cup and if he's there to lift it, because he was the starter until the end of the regular season. So
Canada West All-Star, man.
Like he deserves it as much as anyone else on that team.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was after the 5th game of the season that he got that that it sounds like.
Did he continue playing?
I'm not sure. I can't find the article that I found originally.
Because
I didn't find it.
yeah. Anyways, it's a shitty situation, man. Especially for the football community. We're all thinking of him, and hopefully he's gonna beat it and ring that cancer bell. And I want to say he's a fifth year, so I do believe this is how his career
Yeah, it's his
will
last
end.
year.
Yeah, if there's
Or
any
it's,
way.
this article actually says he's a fourth year.
Okay, so maybe
It's his
God's
draft year, so he should have one more year.
God's willing, he's able to maybe beat it, and obviously that's not what he's thinking about playing, but if he's able to, maybe come back for his fifth and final year. But obviously he's focused on the fight ahead, and obviously we're all rooting for him. So shitty one for sure.
Yeah, so yeah, it looks like he stepped away. He abruptly departed from the team following the Saskatchewan's 45-22 victory over the Dinos. On the 27th, he was waiting to be cleared by the doctors to play. And that's how they found out he had lymphoma, which is
But tough turn. We will, I guess, try to attempt to take it, and obviously talk about the Vanier Cup this weekend with Montreal. As Shane already said, Saskatchewan has the opportunity to three-peat and be the Triple Crown winners this year in Canada football, which would be cool. Blake already said if their women maybe play, they could be, totally the champions of Canada. But I mean, Montreal, man, like how can you sleep on them totally? They obviously have rookie sensation, all name team in the U Sports for sure. Pepe Gonzalez, coach, rookie quarterback for the
They're
Montreal
just a
Carabins.
QB factory at the
Canadian and
University of Montreal.
Mexican or Canadian Mexican freshman.
Yeah. Which is crazy. That as Blake was just saying there, Canadian football factory with obviously they had Senecal last year. This Pepe Gonzalez goes to, I believe, break the total passing touchdowns record in a season, and lead them right to the Vanier Cup. So I mean, they could obviously win on. Montreal was close to doing this, Shane, right? Obviously, they didn't win the CGFL, but they won U Sports and the Grey Cup 2 years
2012.
ago, right?
2012, yeah, or 2022, yeah. There's been a couple of instances where you
2023, sorry.
2023.
Yeah, 2023, yeah.
And
There's been
obviously
a couple
Montreal
of
can't.
instances where like we've seen some overlap. I believe like 2008.
And obviously Montreal can't win CGFL, so that's unfortunate for
No.
them that they couldn't try to defend that title there. But it's a cool opportunity for Sask.
There hasn't been many. More so the fact that they're also, there's not a lot of overlap between the two sports anymore in terms of like locations, or the three. Let me see if I can pull. Oh, here we go. I remember. I think there might have been 1 year. Because I was looking at it the other day. Around the winners.
Blake, who do you got on Saturday?
I'm gonna go with the Huskies just because, like, it really would be the storybook ending, not just for the young men that we talked about, but like for the whole province. Like, it was funny because, like as you guys kind of know, personally, like flights and stuff like that, I have to fly standby, so it's not always as A to B as you guys would if you're getting on flights. And I had to go through Regina on Monday to get home. And it was funny because the guy I was driving with from Winnipeg to Regina, we noticed as we drove by the stadium, they already had like the 2025 Grey Cup champions stuff on the big board and kind of all around the stadium. And we said, like, I wouldn't be surprised as soon as that final Hail Mary dropped if it was up on the stadium. I did see later that night that basically like 20 minutes after the game ended, it was already up on the big board in Saskatchewan. That province is crazy about their football. Like, they don't have anything else. The Riders are the only professional team that they have. They don't have NHL. They don't, of course, have NBA or MLB or anything like that. So we see the support the Saskatoon Hilltops, the Regina Thunder get, like the Regina Rams, the Saskatchewan Huskies, and for them to complete the Triple Crown, as much as it pains me to say just a little bit, I would like them to do it. I really would.
Yeah,
And
there's been
it'll be in Mosaic too, isn't it, Shane?
It is,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. There's been
I
a
feel like
couple
that's
of
gonna be one
instances
party.
where they've won like two, like a team will win the Vanier Cup and win the Canadian Bowl, or win the Grey Cup and win the Canadian Bowl. Like I think 2013. Yeah, the
Hilltops
Regina
and Riders probably.
Yeah, Regina and Sask.
and Saskatchewan win the Grey Cup and the Canadian Bowl, but neither of the two Saskatchewan-based schools were in the Vanier. 96, you saw the Saskatchewan win the Vanier, and the Hilltops win the Canadian Bowl, but Regina wasn't in the Grey Cup. So you've seen it a couple of times where a lot of teams win the two, but not many have won. I don't think there's been a single city that's won all three in the
All
same
three.
year.
History.
So
yeah.
Coach, who you got in the game?
I got the Huskies winning, man. So much momentum, so much to play for. I think also just from a team standpoint, I think their defense could shut down Pepe.
I mean, they'll have most of the home crowd as well. Like, it is in Regina. It would be a little bit different if it was in Saskatoon. So maybe not like similar to the Grey Cup this past weekend, where like probably not any Bombers fans were cheering for the Riders, but I think in
course.
Saskatchewan it'll be a little bit different. Like, obviously there'll be some Rams supporters, some Rams students that won't cheer
Huskies.
for the Huskies, but like on the other token, there'll be a lot of fans that will.
Personally, I just hope the Grey Cup and the Canadian Bowl are in attendance.
That
Like,
would be amazing.
like
I
if
need to
I'm-
see that.
If
Picture.
if I'm U Sports, I'm inviting both of them out to the game, and you bring both trophies.
Yeah.
And I know it's supposed to be about the Vanier, and I get it. You don't want, but at the end of the day, like, you have the ability now to have all three in the same province.
Mm-hmm.
You need to take advantage of it. For me, if they don't have the Rough Riders and the Hilltops in attendance with their trophies, it doesn't matter if Montreal wins. You have all three trophies
In attendance.
there in attendance.
Yeah.
You set it up like you know, games on Saturday. Okay, Friday we're gonna have like an entire event. We're gonna be able to see all three trophies. Like, I don't know. I think you need to have the teams and the trophies present at this event, because I don't know when's the next time you're going to be able to have all three available. The way
Very,
that
Next
very
year,
good
when the
thought.
Rams win the Canadian Bowl, the Lions win the Grey Cup, and UBC wins the Vanier.
Shut the fuck up. buddy.
Again, I want to know what type of delusion you're on. That's
But
like
of
me
course,
saying
Shane-
that you're going to see Carleton or Ottawa win the Vanier anytime soon. Or, I mean, the Red Blacks could win the Grey Cup with Dinwiddie at the helm. We'll see how
UBC
that
made the
goes.
playoffs this year, though. What do you mean?
And they got
Um,
trounced. Carleton missed the playoffs because they couldn't win. They were literally in a, hey, all we need to do is win. We are win and we're in. And they fucking lost. And they missed because they lost.
Can I say something
what-
quickly? Like,
Ottawa could have hosted a playoff game, but nope, they shot the bed the last 3 weeks. Sooners were god awful, so I'm not even going to talk about them.
but
But yeah, you know, Ottawa's probably could win a Grey Cup. I mean, it's Dinwiddie, so who knows?
we'll see. But are we pretty much done with the Vanier for?
I feel like
Yeah,
Blake's
guys,
about
I'm-
to get
I'm
to
taking the Huskies.
heartfelt here.
I hate when you do that, but
Sorry, buddy.
you are
I
such
can
an
just,
ass.
I can read you like a book.
Are you talking about
Yeah,
Colonel
I
Ryan?
guess that's why we're so close friends. But seriously, like, to everyone that's watched this year, thank you. Like, because without you guys, we would just be four guys talking into a screen each and every week. Um, Although we missed last week, but that was more so because of Shane and my travel plans than anything
And
else.
then no one responding to my message about when we wanted to go live on Sunday because,
Yeah.
Yeah,
fuck me.
Shane and I were ready to go live, and then you two just ghosted us.
Sorry,
Yeah,
boys. Sunday morning was a bad time. The Bills are on.
Yeah, Josh Allen scored 6 touchdowns. But no, seriously, like, to have this platform with you guys, we've done it. Last year, I know we didn't do it the whole season. We did it most of the year. This was the first full year we've done it. And I truly believe that, much like our friends at the Alouettes flight deck like to say, and they've been going at it for 10 plus years, that the four of us are just getting started. So
Goddamn right.
it's really cool that we've all built this friendship. Like Cole and I think we've become super close. Shane and Coach, it's literally just because we don't live as close to each other as Cole and I do. But man, like, hopefully we can keep this going and hopefully get together at the combine, free agency, stuff like that. And then before
we're
we
gonna be-
know it, it's gonna be May. Training camp's gonna be here, and we're gonna be talking about a brand new season again. So
yeah. I mean, there's definitely going to be some free agency content coming your way. Hopefully, some other things on the horizon too. So
I was about
and
to
I didn't
say
even get emotional this
combine,
year,
Blake.
Cole.
You
So
huh?
I didn't
That's
even get emotional this year, but
that's good. That's well, it's okay to get emotional. I'm not trying to say that, but that's okay too, buddy. But combine, boys, we most definitely have to meet up at the combine if we can all make it. I know, Coach and Shane and Blake too, I guess. I'm the only one that doesn't. You guys have kids, so things come up and whatnot. You might not be able to make it work out with your plans, but if we can, I would definitely love to meet up for the combine. I think it would be a great opportunity for us to obviously hang out for a weekend, but do some content from there as well. And
it's in
obviously
Edmonton this year, isn't it?
it is, which is kind of tough for you, Shane. I know it's pretty far for you. So I like I said, buddy, I do understand and stuff. Life happens and whatnot, and you got to pay the bills and stuff and make sure the little one's still surviving. So I get it if we can't make it work, but I really feel like Blake, you're almost gonna get wrapped into this one, buddy, because I know you enjoy your CFL road trips and Edmonton's. I feel like a close has a soft spot in your heart, so I feel like that won't be an easy one to talk you into. And Coach, obviously you're on the West Coast too, and already declined to hop in Blake and I's road trip because I already tried to talk Blake into.
Actually, you know what? I thought about it.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah,
do
he's coming
it.
around, Blake.
You
We're
know
road
what?
tripping. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, Shane. Are you gonna come?
I mean, if I can, I would. If I can make it work, I will.
We're gonna get snacks and more snacks.
as long as I got my Red Bull and my Mars bars, I'm good
Gross.
to go.
Red Bull, really?
Yeah.
Nasty.
Shut the fuck up, Shane.
But
Red Bull's
I agree.
gross. I don't know what to tell you. It's like the
So is
worst
Diet
energy
Pepsi.
drink.
Oh gosh.
What?
So it's
It's
Diet
so
Pepsi, but you know, hey, a lot
I
of
don't
y'all
drink Diet Pepsi. That's fucking gross.
Shane
battery
likes
acid.
is it Dr. Pepper or what does Shane usually drink? It's Diet Coke.
Dr. Pepper.
No, it's just Coke. I don't know.
It's
The
just
Diet.
Coke.
Okay.
Actually,
I
it's
knew it was a
Pepsi.
red
It's Pepsi's a
label.
better price because I can get
I
a
knew it was
liter
a
of
red
Pepsi.
label. For some reason, I thought it was Dr. Pepper.
Oh, it's got the red light on and everything over there. What, you about to get freaky over there?
I don't know. I don't know what just happened.
That was so weird.
That was weird. But I agree with Blake, man. I'm just very thankful. We all joke and stuff like that and have a good time. But I wouldn't want to do the season without any of you guys, boys. So it's been fun on a weekly
Before we
basis.
go, Cole, you got anything to mention real quick about what you're working on?
Yeah, I guess thanks, Shane. I fucking forgot. I actually wanted to say that, but introducing a super cool new series on the channel. We actually dropped episode 1 this morning. Film breakdown. We're able to be luckily able to be joined by pro quarterback Taylor Elgersma. Didn't kind of know what to, NFL quarterback. He's not NFL quarterback, and he's obviously not CFL quarterback yet. So we're gonna go with pro quarterback Taylor Elgersma. And something that like I kind of said in the video, like I don't claim to be any, football expert or film expert. So like this is most definitely like me learning just as much as the fans. But I feel like we have none of this in the CFL in terms of like kind of the X's and O's, the like walking through some of the like actually how plays are set up, how plays are executed, how kind of the more nuanced stuff of like watching football in terms of like I put out the video or like the clip today of Taylor, and he talks about kind of like manipulating the linebackers and kind of understanding that he can throw around one, but he has to manipulate the other one. I'm going to put out another clip tomorrow, and he talks about kind of like the differences of like match coverage and kind of like the differences, I guess. And I feel like it'd be a good tool, as I said, not only for like other fans out there to learn and stuff like that, but for like myself. I said in the video that like I had my notepad out, I was writing down some stuff throughout the video when Taylor was talking and stuff like that, for like an opportunity for me to like grow my knowledge, grow how I understand the game a little bit more and stuff like that. So not gonna spoil who our next guests are, but what I will say is head over to the video, comment down below, let us know, or even tag us on social media and let us know who you guys would like to see for some upcoming guests. I will say this for a hint. I will say we've had him on the channel before, and he is a Grey Cup champion as of
Is it Trevor
Sunday.
Harris?
It is not Trevor Harris. And I'll say he has some CGFL ties, and I'll leave it at that.
Is
So
it Furland? It's Furland, isn't it?
may or may not be, but
It's Furland.
Well,
Got it.
just say it.
so I'm looking forward to that. And as I said, kind of like Shane was saying earlier too, right? Like a lot of the like the line play gets overlooked, right? And I'm looking forward to having for Logan on to kind of like explain some of that and like kind of explain to the fans that like obviously fans get it, but like if it's not for those five big boys up front doing their job, none of it happens behind them or in
Nothing.
front of them. So I feel like it'll be a good opportunity to kind of have those guys on. I'm super into whether it's coaches, players at CFL level, U Sports level, or CFL level. Already tried to kind of, obviously with the Riders winning, tried to use some of my connections, possibly one of the maybe an Andrew Harris or something like that in future episodes. So we will tease some of the ideas that we do have. I was also thinking, obviously, offensive guy. Don't worry, guys. Episode 3 or 4 will probably be a defensive guy where we'll start to have some of that defensive talk as well, and that'll be like really where I'm starting to learn some things. So looking forward to that. Obviously, you guys can find it on the YouTube channel at the Canadian Football Fanatics over there. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we're excited. It looks like a really good series. I haven't had a chance to check it out because of work and whatnot today. I plan on doing it this week. And make sure you guys stick around on 13th Man. I have probably way too many free agency spreadsheets going on at once that I'm working on currently. If you guys want a little bit of tidbit, if you're unsure about how contracts work, that's kind of what I'm trying to bring to you guys this off season from a 13th Man perspective, as well as all their player interviews and.
Yeah, Shane. I honestly, I know you mentioned it in the in our little group chat there. I appreciate like you kind of explaining some of the salary cap situation and stuff like that. And I know there's, I guess, other dickheads. We'll leave it at that. To maybe leave unnamed that kind of maybe try to
fuck
derail
him.
you from that. But keep on doing that because I kind of honestly learn from stuff like that because I'm not too big into kind of the salary cap and all that stuff and the reading the rule book and page 35 and all this shit.
Oh,
so
God.
I have studied.
I appreciate you doing it. So continue to do so, buddy.
I have studied the CBA and almost every available document available in regards to CFL contracts and how their contracts work, probably 10 times over. Pretty fluent in it. So I'm hoping to have some more content come through, especially in the new year, kind of breaking down free agency for some teams, what it could look like, what it could mean. Some agents are a little bit more quiet regarding contracts in terms of dollars associated with them. That's their prerogative. That's their client. They don't have to disclose that information to media. So some of them don't, and I totally respect that. So I have trying to work on different things where I can get as much information as possible to make it accessible to people who may not have the ability or the time to look into it. So
lastly, boys, what's going to be the plan? Are we going to be back in 2026 like for free agency and kind of take like December off kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, I plan to take the holidays, enjoy time with your families. No holidays can get a little bit chaotic, so we'll take probably the next 6 to 8 weeks off, and probably regroup mid-Jan. Free agency based off of previous years, because I don't think they've actually confirmed the free agency date, but assuming that it goes as previously stated, it's going to be February 10th.
Yeah, it'll be close to Valentine's Day.
It's usually the second Tuesday. I don't know what it is with this league. They love their Tuesdays.
Schedule release on a Tuesday.
Schedule release on the 9th of December. So
Are we
way
gonna
early schedule release, which we love to see.
are we gonna aim for like a monthly recording, or
I think so. We can work on it.
Like me.
every month kind of thing?
Yeah. But free agency is going to be on the 10th, more than likely. And then combine, you're probably going to see the regional combine, probably the 20th to the 22nd, because it's usually that last weekend of the month. And then national combine, I believe it's the 26th to the 29th is what they've already confirmed.
And like those shows too, I thought we could do some like other content too. Like there's like slow weeks or whatever where we could like our top 5 current
Yeah.
receivers or something like that, or top 5 all-time receivers or something like that. We're like,
Yeah.
there's other ways to find content and talk for
Fuck,
whatever, hour and a half, 2 hours, whatever it may be.
And then Tuesday, April 28th is the expected draft date. So for people who are continuing to listen, those are some dates to put in your calendar as tentative dates for important CFL news. And I know we didn't really mention it, but the NFL window has opened for players under contract to work out and potentially sign. So that's something we'll keep an eye out. There's a couple players I would assume are going to get looks this year. I think there might be a couple in Saskatchewan who might get a couple of looks based off this year's play. And I think you're talking to one of them for your next episode. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, window I believe is opening. I think it actually opens now. Like it's open right after the Grey Cup, and I think it goes until the workout window starts, and then I think the signing window is like January 10th, and it runs until I think April or February 9th, I think is when it runs to.
Before we get out of here, can I throw my little chest in there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, since we all being all sentimental and all nice and not fighting for once, I just want to say thank y'all to everybody that watches, but also mainly you guys with everything that I've had going on this year. Everything since July, since Jasmine passed, I really appreciate y'all. And this has been a great way for me to take my mind off of everything, kind of regroup, kind of get myself back in the saddle with recording and getting back into the social media stuff, because there was a moment in time where I thought I was done. I didn't think I could keep going with this. But, with her being in my ear, being my angel, and y'all kind of egging me on and keeping me going, man, I love doing this with y'all. And I love what everybody else does. I love seeing what everybody does. But it's very rare that you find chemistry and you make friends out of this. So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And let's keep this thing going.
Love you right back, Coach.
Love you too.
Yeah, Coach, we all love you. So
we're gonna do the damn thing.
Coach, I feel like we should honestly turn it right back to you, since you kicked the damn door down, and the Riders are 2025 112 Grey Cup champions.
Your 5th one. How do you feel?
Dog, hey, I'll be honest, I didn't think I would see the day, but I knew the day was going to happen at some point in time. It just became a reality, and I love it, but there's more that can be attained. If you can make it through the Craig Dickinson era, you can make it through anything. So we just going to keep rocking and rolling and having fun with it, baby. And as far as anything else that I got going on, I'm going to bring back deep in the game. I got a lot of people to record with and interview, get it back out there. I'm going to be doing my own film breakdown with a lot of defensive guys, kind of continue that thing I was doing. And I want to do when I come up there, because if we do go to Edmonton, I do want to do some food reviews, kind of branch out, do some fun stuff, kind of show off how fun Canada can be if you're from the States. Do some PWHL and have some fun with it, man. We're gonna keep rocking and rolling, baby.
I think we need to do this. We need to have a boys trip for sure and almost speak Edmonton into existence and kind of do what Coach is talking about right there. So Shane, obviously,
I'm
as I
down for the
said, buddy,
road trip.
you have a full pass. I know it's a little bit of a far trip for you, but at some point we definitely got to get together, boys. If it isn't Grey Cup next year, but we got to have one of those weekends where we have some fun together.
Oh, for sure.
Sounds good to me.
I'm thinking
Love you, boys.
Edmonton. We just ride. Me, Cole, and Blake just ride. Now that
Oh
is a
God.
vlog. That's a vlog that will live.
That would be a
12 hours in
ridiculous
the
vlog.
car with the three of us. Jeez.
Who driving though?
Probably me.
Oh fuck.
I'm okay
You guys
with that.
aren't even gonna make it to Edmonton.
No, Blake's a responsible driver. At least when I've been with him, he's been okay.
We just gotta have a cooler in the trunk, have some liquor, and we gonna make it.
I'm
Exactly.
down, but
All right, boys.
I think that's almost the perfect way to end it. And
Yes, sir.
Shane, as the host, I'll let you do the honors.
Yeah, thank you guys for an incredible year of the ability to create this content. Love all three of you. It's been a pleasure this year to continue the strong 2024 year we had. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification button so you don't miss any other content coming in this off season. And instead of seeing you next Wednesday, we will see you come spring. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your winter. Enjoy your holidays. Stay safe out there, everyone. We will see you when the season kicks off come May and earlier as other key events happen. We love you. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of the year.
Yes, sir.